Hey everybody, this is GGB Coles Peppers, and I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas. Believe it or not, there are no games on Christmas Eve. I guess they decided Christmas Eve was special and Christmas wasn't, but it's weird. But there are, in fact, college basketball games on Friday, or Christmas Day. So let's go over the Christmas Day basketball games. There are 3, but let's go over Wednesday's basketball games first, mainly because, I don't know. Because I need to review them. That's normally what we do in this episode. I don't know why we started doing it, but that's what we started doing. Okay, so Xavier at number 13, Creighton. Xavier kept it close for quite a long time, but in the end, it turned out to be too much for Xavier to overcome the Musketeers, and Creighton ended up winning this one. So the UCLA at number 25 Oregon game was postponed, so I don't know. I don't really have anything to say about this one. Number 11, Rutgers at number 23, Ohio State. If you didn't watch the end of this game, Rutgers absolutely blew it. It was one of the worst blowings I've seen in a long time. They were up by like a whole bunch of points. But you know how you lose a game? You finish out on a 29-9 run. I'm sorry. Rutgers is the one that scored 9 points. Ohio State scored 29 points to Rutgers 9 points and ended up winning this game, which means I get no points for today. If that hadn't happened, I would have gotten half a point. USC Upstate at number 8, Tennessee. You know what happened? What we expected to happen. Ohio State USC Upstate got crushed. Now, Illinois at Penn State, I watched a lot of this game, and I took one thing away from it. Illinois' offense is good. They have a lot of different playmakers, but one thing I took away from it is Penn State wants to actually play and be competitive in the Big Ten this year. They need to learn how to play some defense because they scored 80 points. 80 points normally wins a basketball game for you. Well, the other team scored 96 or something insane like that. You can't win a basketball game when you're playing that porous of defense. By the way, also I watched the game. The refs were bad. It wasn't just Penn State side, but they weren't calling anything. You could hack anyone, and it was not going to be called. It was a bad, poorly refed game. And then you had Villanova at Marquette. Villanova really crushed Marquette, and Marquette falls to 5-5, which means it's looking less and less like a playoff team every single day. But let's go over the Friday games. There are 3 games today, and I'll go over each one individually. So we have number 9, Wisconsin, taking on number 12, Michigan State. Now, obviously, Wisconsin is favored in this game. But Wisconsin's such a good team this year, but so is Michigan State. In my opinion, you have 3 top teams. You have Iowa, you have Wisconsin, and you have Michigan State. Now, Rutgers is close, but as he shot, they lost to Ohio State, so I'm not really ready to put them up there quite yet. So those are the 3 teams. They're really good basketball teams, and I really think they have a chance. All 3 of them have a chance of going far in the tournament this year. Wisconsin right now looks like a really good team, but so does Michigan State. So this one's really a toss-up. I think it could go either way. The last 12 Big Ten visits to Michigan State resulted in losses for Wisconsin, so that's also something to favor into this matchup. Number 19, Michigan at Nebraska. Now, obviously, if anyone who's been following Big Ten basketball this year knows there's 13 teams in the Big Ten that can seriously vie for playoff contention. Like, there are 13 teams that I've watched and thought, man, that's a good basketball team. 13. Northwestern surprised me this year. I expected them to be garbage. They're actually a really good basketball team, beating Indiana last night, and they've beaten Ohio State. And their only loss is a 1-point loss to Pitt that they really should have had. They really should be undefeated right now if they didn't blow it against Pitt. But right now, Nebraska's the only team that I've watched and thought this team is not going to make the playoffs because, God, it's really bad. It's not a good basketball team all this year. Michigan is. That's why they're in the top 25. That's why 7 of the Big Ten teams are in the top 25. The only conference to have half their teams in the top 25 is the Big 12 as well. The Big 12 has 5 teams in the top 25, and most people know that there's 10 teams in the Big 12. So, but Michigan's really good this year. Nebraska's not, so I'm favoring less away from this matchup. Now, I would love to pick Minnesota as underdogs because they're a good basketball team. They're legitimately 7-1. They look like a playoff contending team. But it's against Iowa. Again, I don't love picking against Iowa, mainly because Garza has made it a bad night for him's 20-plus points. That's a bad night. Normally he's scoring 30-plus, which is insane to think about. It's not like the rest of these Iowa guys, the guys on the Iowa team are chumps, too. They play really good basketball as well. It's just everyone overlooks them because of how fantastic Luka Garza is. Like, it's phenomenal. Minnesota, I don't. It's possible they pull off this upset. They're a very good basketball team this year, but I don't know about it. Hey, everybody, let's drum roll, please. I'm going to pick Michigan State to upset Wisconsin. I think Michigan State has put together a great team this year. Tom Izzo is, again, coaching his mind off, his butt off. I don't know how exactly I should say that, but Tom Izzo is a fantastic basketball coach. And then you also look at it, you have Rocket Watts, who's playing phenomenally well this year. And I love what the Spartans have been doing on offense. I really like what Wisconsin's been doing, but I think Michigan State knocks them down a peg. Hey everybody, this is GGB Close Pepper saying adios amigos and go Spartans.